Hello and welcome. I'm Jane Mountrose, and I'm here, delighted to be here actually, with my partner, husband, and co director of Awakenings Institute, Dr. Phillip Mountrose. We're actually spiritual coaches, healers, and guides who support awakening souls like us to increase our emotional and spiritual intelligence by accessing our full range of resources. And I know that's kind of a mouthful. We'll explain. Our goal is to live life to the fullest and to evolve and grow in magical and mystical ways. Today, we're going to talk about getting unstuck, which is really obviously directly related to this because I think we all reach times in our lives when we don't know exactly where to go next, and we don't have any real good advice, and we just feel stuck. Or we might just feel kind of blah if you're living fully life to the fullest, there's a lot of energy. You're excited about every day. New things are happening. You're learning and growing in magical ways that really astound you. That's and this is what we're aiming for. But those other things happen to all of us. In fact, that's how we got started with what we do is how do we avoid, how do we overcome this? Um, we also, many of us are looking for ways to claim our power and to find our own voices, not having to continuously succumb to the voices of others that really don't resonate with us anymore. And of course, we don't know how to do that either. So that's what we're going to focus on today. It's a lot,
That's a big
but
topic. It's something very relevant to us because throughout life, at times we get stuck in little ways, big ways,
right.
in different areas of our life, and it's sort of part of the journey. And when we get stuck, then what do you do? Does it mean to get stuck? And then what do you do about it?
Right, right. So what we're going to talk about is expanding our resources, and we'll see what the cards have to say. Those who know us know that also that we're here often, most of the time actually, um, having we provide insights, and then we do oracle and tarot readings. We go into the akashic records, and we receive sometimes insights from some of the beings of light around us,
Hmm.
masters, angels, and other beings.
Yeah,
So we'll just see where this takes us.
yeah.
We have a
See,
very special reading for you today, so um,
right. Yeah,
I'm
it's so
excited. So go
it's
ahead, Philip.
exciting.
Why
So
don't
on
you
on
explain
this,
a little more?
yeah, on the Soul Awakenings channel here, and if you have any thoughts about what we're saying, please post it in the chat. Hi, Babs, on what we're saying. Uh, so I think a good analogy about being stuck could be like a dam being stuck. It could be a clogged pipe or drain, just to get an idea. So at certain times things get stuck, and then you first of all want to recognize that, and it usually means there's some things that are not serving you that are getting you stuck, and it could be old patterns or um, indecision, fears. Things could be getting that drain all stuck. You could just get in a deeper thing and maybe a loss of meaning, a more spiritual
Right.
dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be very small.
But for
But
me, it was that it got to a point where I just knew that I couldn't go on the way I was. That I felt like my soul was was dying, and I didn't have any sense of what that might mean. It just was a sense like I had less and less energy all the time, and
mm-hmm,
we deserve to live fully.
mm-hmm,
We deserve to feel excited about what's happening in our lives, and to feel that we have meaning. I think that's another part of it.
mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, and we may need to find that meeting, and and being with people who are supportive of us,
Mm-hmm.
doing things which we enjoy, things that are healthy, things, not things that, and that can be part of being stuck, doing patterns that actually keep you down. It could be addiction patterns, or maybe hanging out with people who bring you down. Um, so does it bring you up or down? That's a pretty, you do know that difference. So making maybe some new patterns, some new people, some new habits, healthy habits, and it could be just exercising or a different kind of exercise. It could be going out in nature. or just maybe taking different drives, different scenic routes when you're driving. Simple things can do it. That's the good thing, depending
Well,
on
and
your
sometimes I think
situation.
it goes much deeper too.
Yeah,
It really, in a lot of cases, it's about redefining oneself.
who am I? If it's something
Right.
deeper, and it can be a little thing, can be pointing to something bigger for sure.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it is, we're taught in society to look for like entertainment to soothe our souls, you might say, or just to feel like life is worthwhile, going to a movie or I'm getting drunk, on Friday night or something. When really there's so much more that that has real meaning. And the key from one angle is to learn how to have those resources inside of oneself so that you're not always looking like who can help me or what might help me or what might soothe me, just to chill out for a few minutes. It's a deeper thing than that.
Hmm. Well, should we look into the oracles to start to get insights from that level?
Okay. And what we're going to do, which is actually what we're talking about too on the bigger scale, is we're going to do an oracle reading for bringing spirit into form or bridging heaven and earth. So we're bringing that higher sense of reality down into our lives now. So the question or the intention for the reading is how are we going to accomplish this to bring
Hmm.
more of who we genuinely are, um, really souls, spirit, spiritual beings living a physical life. Um, and we're going to there are three cards, and we have three different decks of cards that we're using for this because it just makes sense. The first one is to provide a general focus on the spiritual level. And along with that, we're going to meet a being of light, a goddess, god, master. We'll see. We'll see who shows up. And we're using these cards. It's Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. So I'm going to switch over to my camera of my reading area.
Your
And
reading camera.
and what I often do is just spread the cards out on there, and I'm sensing it's right on top here. Well, this is interesting. This is a being you may not be familiar with this being. He is not one of the ones that's most well known, but he is a cosmic master. And the focus, which is the first thing for us to talk about, is light activation. And it says, "Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear." So that is what the aim is here in bringing spirit to form, having our internal guidance come through loud and clear. And the being who is connected, Sanat Kumara, is considered to be from the planet Venus. So he's a cosmic master. I'm going to read a little bit about him. Really beautiful energy. Sanat Kumara, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic being who is dedicated to helping the earth rise up toward the light. He is, as far as I'm concerned, that's Kyle Gray, the leader of the Keepers of the Light. He has been acknowledged as a god in Hinduism and in the Mahabharata story.
Hmm.
I hope I didn't do too
Mahabharata. Hmm.
Maham.
Classic
Anyhow,
Indian
whatever.
text.
Yes,
Hmm.
which has come down from heaven bearing God's divine plan. In more recent times, he's been acknowledged as coming from Venus and bringing through unconditional love. He has eyes that are made of the cosmos with the ability to penetrate the soul and activate its brightest light yet. He can seem otherworldly because his looks are beyond human. He is a being of light shining with the purest intentions. He is the twin flame of Lady Venus. Together they activate the heart and light of those who welcome their help so they can shine brighter than ever. And for the personal message, you are here to light up the world. You may feel that you are being pushed or that there is a lot going on at once. And this is because your energy is magnetic to others and they want it in their life. Take the time to listen to your inner voice. Remember the cosmic light of heaven and draw it into you. That is all you need to do to inspire the world. And for me, it makes me think of just breathing love and light into your heart as we go through this reading. And that is a light activation, is breathing love and light, cosmic light into your heart. You want to share, Philip, on that?
Okay, for Sanat Kamara, let's see if I can pick up what I can pick up from him directly. Yes, you are all beings of light and love, although in the earth realm, it can seem that you're in a cloud or darkness may seemingly blanket you, but that is only temporary and is actually an illusion. And from that, you can learn quite a bit to find your way to deeper areas to recover the light and love of who you truly are, because you are magical, mystical, wonderful beings, each and every one of you, whether you realize it or not. And sometimes you do realize it. And it's good in those moments to really value those higher peak moments of love and light and send that into your heart and use it to guide you forward like a beam of light or a beam of love that you can travel on in your daily life. So know that you are much loved and much treasured, and you have wonderful things in store for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I was just also looking for, we have the card here for Lady Venus. I'd like to put that out next to him because the divine feminine is really important right now. Where are you?
We are
She's
pausing
like
here.
almost the last one. There she is, just a beautiful, beautiful light.
His counterpart.
Yeah. And her card says downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So there's Lady Venus. So we can connect both with the masculine and feminine energies of the divine. So you ready for the second card?
Yes.
So the second card is the one that is supporting you to bring spirit into form, you could say. So it's a major arcana card, and we're using the Star Tarot for embracing this gift of light activation. So I have to shuffle a little bit here again. And the Star Tarot is actually, it's appropriate, very appropriate here with these two beings because it's a very cosmic tarot deck. And I can just kind of, there they are, all these cards, and I'm being drawn to this one. So here we have, this is interesting. The Devil. The Devil is one of the cards in the tarot that people often don't want to see. And what it really is offering us an opportunity to look at those areas, those things that do keep us stuck. Just old patterns that aren't serving us, etc. And I'm going to read a little bit about this one also. This has come up in readings for me quite a bit lately. And it says recognizing your bondage. So it is when you're stuck, something is keeping you down, right? So it says the devil represents the vices of our physical and material world. He wants us to come to term with, and this isn't necessarily you think, well, is it alcohol? No, it isn't. Come to terms with our fears, weaknesses, and drawbacks. When we stop running from our demons and decide to confront them, we will stop being controlled by denial and our dark side. The devil is the guardian of the threshold. He holds you accountable for your actions. He also guides you through the darkness and brings you into the light. And I think to me, all of this has to do with being compassionate for the things that are keeping us stuck. We're admitting here that there's the idea in this reading is that there are some things that keep us stuck and we want the way out. And the way out is to allow yourself to own them. And then because they're in the light now, you can deal with them. So Philip, do you want to comment on that one?
Yes, I think when we see something like the devil, it can be scary or feeling like we did something wrong, like, oh no. But it's part of the spectrum of experience. There are things that use the verb bedevil us, that distress us, that are weaknesses, Achilles heels. We have those things, things which maybe are temptations for us, and they may also just be patterns that have brought us down, like that's clogged our drains, so to speak, as we said before.
Right.
Uh, so the good thing is that it's showing us something on how to go forward. It doesn't mean when we look at these things like an identity, like this is me, I'm terrible, I'm the devil, things are horrible. That's not what it's about. What it is
Not at
about,
all. Right.
it's showing us an aspect of life, of our journey that we all experience, and it's something to transform. In fact, that's how we go deeper into the light, as Sanat Kamara, as we're able to embrace it more by going through these bedeviling experiences.
Right. Right. And it is a lot of times things that are beliefs that are out somehow because we're holding them, then we allow things to be present in our lives that are unnecessary. And one thing that comes to mind for me is I used to be afraid of just about everything. I was a very fearful person. And I realized at a certain point that none of the things I was afraid of ever seemed to happen, which is fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and the things that actually, the biggest challenges that I did face, somehow there was a way through them. And I actually often felt like a hand was reaching down from heaven and supporting me. Like if I got stuck on a country road, and my car broke down, that somehow someone would come along and help me and everything would work out fine. And so then I started thinking, well, it makes much more sense to think everything's going to work out fine. And I don't think that took care of all of my fears, but it completely changed my perspective on how to evaluate my thinking. And I think that's one thing to look at is um, how is it that we're holding ourselves in the way that we perceive things.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think that's a if you look at that. And I don't, Philip, do you want to ask Sanat Kamara or Lady Venus if they have any comments
Yeah.
on
And I
how
also
to
want to,
maybe perceive the devil in a positive way? Because
yeah,
they are all of them
that's
are positive.
that's a good question. I just want to mention Babs had a nice insight here too, who's in the chat. Only by letting go of what blocks us can we allow
Right.
more light in. So that's
That's true. Yeah, you need to have space for the light to enter.
so let me check in with Lady Venus and channel some of her energy and insight. Yes, dears, you are all loved ones, and at times the world can seem like the devil, or your own thoughts and feelings can bedevil you as well. But know it is temporary, and you have to open up more to the light, to allow yourself to go through that experience, not to stay there, just to say this is a temporary experience that's teaching me something. and just acknowledging will start to transform it. So find out what bothers you the most about whatever is bedeviling you. And that's the clue. That's the sign. That is the portal that will open you up to actually more love and light. Because the
Mm-hmm.
very thing that clouds you is the very thing that on the other side has light and beauty and wonder.
Right. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, it is. We judge ourselves too, like, well, I have all of this stuff. I must not be worthy, or I'm just not good enough, or I'm not strong enough. I'm not, I don't have enough power. Um, and it really is about realizing it's never about not being enough. It's about the illusion that we're that we're not enough,
Mm-hmm.
that we have to be afraid of something, or we have
Mm-hmm.
to um, be defensive of ourselves, when all of the time we're magnificent beings, just like Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus, who are
Mm-hmm.
here. We're here for a reason. Um, and if we succumb to fear, if we succumb to anger, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, frustration, um, we can still love ourselves and be compassionate towards ourselves, and realize that these are misunderstandings that have been programmed into us, and have come into our awareness because a lot of times of traumas that we weren't able to resolve, you know wounds when we've been hurt in the past. So um, the devil is just giving us actually the permission to bring them out into the open and look at them with compassion. And of course, you couldn't find any more compassionate beings than Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus to support you. We can do a little meditation, can't we, Philip, in a bit,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes,
and just connect
certainly.
with them to receive that,
Mm-hmm.
because we can all receive that blessing of divine light from them. The third part of this reading, which is this is where we bring spirit fully into form. We have this another deck. It's called Earth Magic, and it's about bringing it down, literally down to earth. Um, how to ground it, how we can ground this light that we want to activate.
Yeah, to get things
So I've
flowing.
got another bunch of cards here.
Yeah. So we're going into the
Shuffle,
higher
shuffle.
realms and the support from Sanat Kumara and his essence twin Lady
Okay, so here
Venus.
that we've got this big pile of cards. I'm going to just I think it's this one.
The earth magic cards to ground it.
Yeah, they're very earthy. See, they've got roots.
Mm-hmm.
And the card is iceberg. This is interesting with this
Mm-hmm.
submerged. So these are interesting cards. It's like telling a story, and at the
Yes.
same time, connecting really with nature in a deeper way. So it says up to 90% of an iceberg's body is below the surface, deeply submerged in the bosom of Grandmother Ocean. Yet Grandmother allows considerable freedom for her enormous children, permitting them to move about as dictated by the currents and their own momentum. Having broken off from a glacier or an ice shelf, they float along the sea, much to the detriment of vessels that attempt to traverse their passageways. So, just going down to the personal message, whatever you suppress or deny, in other words, whatever is below the surface, an attempt to keep out of conscious awareness will show up somewhere and somehow. These are your shadow aspects. At one time, you put them out of your consciousness for good reason, yet they remain contained by shame and guilt. Sometimes these submerged aspects of yourself are projected onto others so that they mirror those denied and suppressed parts of you. And you may even harshly judge these characteristics when they're exhibited. Now is the time to allow, it's interesting, now is the time to allow these elements to surface and embrace them. It's really the same message
Mm-hmm.
as the devil, bringing it down, really, literally down to earth. These may make up some sort of self-expression, a secret dream you wish to accomplish, or even uglier aspects that are difficult to acknowledge or accept. Whatever you have submerged deep inside you, this is your opportunity to pay attention to those things and welcome them to the family called you. And that actually is the ultimate solution is to love everyone and everything. If we loved all of these parts of ourselves and loved ourselves unconditionally, um, I think we would be done. So, any thoughts on that one, Philip?
Well, I think that's pointing to the repressed part of whatever
Mm-hmm.
sort of the stuck patterns or bad habits that we have are trying to compensate for. So at a
Mm-hmm.
certain point, we have to kind of go beneath the surface and see what is bedeviling us,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
face that. And that's why it's good to have listen to shows like this, have people who can help you take trainings, get counseling help, or we offer individual help through healing sessions and soul guiding sessions and oracle sessions, or whoever you're drawn um, to help you get unstuck and find your
Right.
voice and your authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sanat, I think this is interesting just having started with light activation and these Venusian beings who are all about love, divine love, uh, just approaching all of these aspects of ourselves with love.
Right.
So, did you want to do a meditation?
Yes.
Are you going to guide it?
Yes. Yeah, I'll guide it. So we can just breathe and relax and close our eyes if it's comfortable for you to do so. Breathing in more relaxed, gentle energy, breathing it into all the cells of your body. And as you become more and more relaxed, you let go even more, feeling more at ease, more comfortable. And as you get more and more comfortable, you begin to sense or see an opening, a portal. And in that portal, it can take you up to the higher realms. Just allow yourself to go up where there are higher beings like Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus. And they may be there to greet you with much love and give you adornments and nurture you. And they take you to a special temple, the temple of healing. And you can just, in this temple, express whatever has been bothering you. And it might be a pain, it might feel like boredom or frustration or fear, maybe other emotions, maybe even some hopeless or despair. And you can take all those emotions now and just see them coming out of you and looking at them and see what they're showing you. The emotions are almost like a deck of cards or symbols for you. And with the help of Sanat Kumara, their energy, and Lady Venus, you can rearrange all these symbols and these cards into a pattern of harmony instead. And they may change in color and shape and image. And the pattern might be very beautiful for you. It might be a lot of positive emotions and associations. Maybe images of gems or wonderful stones or beautiful parts of nature, feathers, wonderful colors there. And all the patterns start to reform. And they reform into a shape, could be a diamond shape or another beautiful shape for you. And you can go into that center of the diamond and let these beautiful images and feelings comfort you and support and boost you and harmonize your aura. And Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus are sending you rays of love, beautiful purple and azure, white, gold, some crimson and pink, all those beautiful colors surrounding you as you stand in the center of your symbol, your beautiful symbol of patterns, knowing that you are worthy of this and much more, that you are a beautiful being that have a wonderful role and part to play in this life going forward. And Jane, if you want to say anything, or you can as well.
One thing just before I move forward, you need to bring your mic closer to your face.
I'm bringing it closer now.
Yeah, because that was a little hard to hear. Um, I think this might be a time for a light activation. I mentioned that you can connect directly with them. And I think we might want to start, since Sanat Kamara came up, just by asking Sanat Kamara to bless us with an activation, a beautiful cascade of light to activate more of the truth of who we are within us, because we are the light. So just allow that to flow down over you. And with that, you might get more of a sense of his energy.
And
all through your body. So down, I always like to bring the energy down all the way to the cellular level, and even focusing on the atoms within the cells, just allowing the light to flow through everything, every part of you. And it can clear out some of that congestion that's in there. Just ask it to clear anything that's ready to be cleared. Because a lot of it is just kind of leftover stuff that really is not, well, it's obviously not serving us, but it's really not all of that stuck. It just is, it's kind of like you need house cleaning. So just allow that light to flow through you. Did you want to say something, Philip?
Yes, I just wanted to review where we were at the beginning, just in case people couldn't hear altogether clearly. Just there was this beautiful shape, an image of shapes that started off as your negative emotions and feelings that turned into patterns and symbols that formed beautiful images and colors. And you stood in the middle of that diamond-shaped image that now is supporting you, along with Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus.
Right. And we can now also ask then for Sanat Kamara to step aside for a moment and ask Lady Venus to bless us with her love and light, which they obviously they're very connected. But you get more of the feminine, divine feminine energy from her. Just allow that light to flow down over you and notice it. Notice what you notice. It doesn't have to be anything. It's just allowing yourself to open to that divine energy of that is a representation of a divine being who is here with us. I feel with it a lot of joy. Just really beautiful.
Light.
And then together we can invite them together to bless us with that light
flowing.
When Philip was talking about symbols and things, you can imagine also light codes of it is like light, intelligent light. So it's actually information flowing down over us that helps us to understand things on a higher level. You can receive that too. And of course, just approaching them with great gratitude, expressing gratitude for the blessings that they have offered us. And I think also I came to a point also where I felt I want to tell them I love them too. I think there was a time when I thought, well, what would they care? Kind of like, who cares if you love them or not? But they do. They receive the love too. So we can send love to them and to each other and to the world, really. So, Philip, you're going to bring us back?
Okay, we have received our blessings and our energies, and it's time to come back, ready to come back down, coming back down into your body, feeling grounded, taking all the light and love into your day. 1, 2, 3, 4, open your eyes. 5, feeling refreshed, alert, a little lighter, a little more loving.
Yeah, I thought that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So it is an example of the approach that we take. And of course, we go into more specifics about, well, things like how can I empower myself? How can I overcome specific things that are blocking me? How can I activate my voice and not feel like I have to please everyone, which is
Right.
impossible to do anyhow. So, beautiful.
Well, those are a lot of different ways to become unstuck and find your voice, claim your power. I think if you just try one of them, or just from anything from remembering Sanat Kumara, uh, Lady Venus, and thank you, Babs. I'm seeing her she enjoyed it too.
But
Or just simply breathing or doing some healing exercises or connecting with someone who will uplift you. Um, uh, any of those things can help you start to get unstuck and reclaim the power, because we all have a sense of power and purpose, and it's really great when we can uncover that. And actually becoming unstuck is part of gaining your power. You actually sort of need both.
mm-hmm. And it does start with opening your heart
Mm-hmm.
to receive love, to fill your heart with love and allow it to radiate around you. This was one of the things that it's really one of the foundational things that we teach in the programs that we offer
Mm-hmm.
is to come from that place, because that's your guidance too. Your guidance is here in your
Mm-hmm.
heart.
Right. Well, it looks like we're at closing time. Any final comments here as we start to close our getting unstuck experience and claiming our power and voice?
Well, one thing I noticed from the reading, maybe I'll go back to that just for a moment. the, um, this was very direct.
Mm-hmm. It was.
We had the devil, and then we had the iceberg too. So the message was very really clear about allowing all of those submerged things that they are weighing us. These are the things
Right.
that weigh us down. Um, just be compassionate towards yourself and allow yourself to experience them. And we have the support of divine beings like these. You can always ask them to
Mm-hmm.
surround you with love. And of course, there are more things, that can be done too. Um, and just accepting, I thought also the devil, that's a tough one. A lot of times, it's not the one you want. You want something to say, oh, be cheerful, you're great.
Mm-hmm.
But this really got where we needed to go, I think, to
Mm-hmm.
to deal with that. And I'm really pleased from that perspective that happened, because it's so important.
Yeah, sometimes we need a kind of a direct message about what to do and not to delay or avoid or procrastinate anymore.
Right. Or I think another thing, the way that we approach all of these things is we want the ultimate solution. We're not looking like, how do I put a band-aid on this, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to feel it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately that doesn't work. What we want is real solutions to real problems, and uh, real uh, real resources and real ways to open to living life to the fullest,
Mm-hmm.
where you are excited to get up every day.
Mm-hmm. So that seems like a good concluding point.
Right.
We could just say what's happening at Awakenings Institute, our nonprofit organization. We will have a spiritual guide program coming up in about a month. But in the meantime, uh, get your light workers kit, some resources, some holistic EFT videos, an excerpt from our new book, loving power of your soul, you go to tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit, tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit to get that free download of resources for you.
Right. Yeah.
So until next time, subscribe to our Soul Awakenings station, channel, podcast. Tell us what you liked. We look forward to connecting with you next time. Much light and love from us and Sanat Kumar and Lady Venus.
Bye, everybody.